Welcome back to part 2 of Elapsed Time. This is going to be a different method. Yesterday was called the timeline method. Today we're going to do the Z method. So let's get started. This is going to be all about when I was traveling. And when I traveled, my parents lived basically right where I just put that blue mark. And I had to go all the way across Pennsylvania to my grandparents who live where the end of that line is. So we left my parents around 8:35 a.m. We arrived at my grandparents around 4:15 p.m. So I'd like to know how long I was traveling for. So with the Z method, it looks a little different. It makes a big Z. So we've got a line that goes that way, a line that goes that way, and then a line that goes that way. Bunch of rays, really. So we put our start time up here, 8:35, and then I will put my 4:15 here at the end. Now what I need to do is go back and put the nearest hours. So the nearest hour to 8:35 would be 9 o'clock, and the hour that comes before 4:15 is 4 o'clock. Now I need to kind of do a lot of the same jumping type stuff that I did from the timeline. So how many minutes is it from 8:35 to 9 o'clock? So my two strategies, I could subtract it from 60, 60 being one whole hour. That'll give me 25, or I can draw myself a clock. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 35 is here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I know that either way, it's going to be 25 minutes. From 4 o'clock to 4:15, moving down to this area, that is going to be 15 minutes. And now I need to count. How many hours is it from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock? So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So that would be 7 hours. So then, same concept. I need to add my minutes together. So 25 plus 15 will give me 40. So 7 hours, 40 minutes. I know this looks a little bit different than the timeline method, but just like we have the curly box and we have the lattice box for some other different ways to do multiplication division, I like to give you a bunch of different ways to do things. So let's move on to our next examples. I arrived back in Virginia a couple days ago at 9:40 or 55 p.m. and I left my parents' house at 3:20. My parents live here, they live here, and I traveled down to around there. How long did my trip take? So try using the Z box here, see if you can do it, and hopefully you didn't get tripped up. I made a little trick there. Alright, so we see 9:45 and 3:20. However, I gave it to you backwards this time. I left my parents at 3:20 and I got back at 9:50. So this is the start time, and this is the end time. So I'll draw my Z's, or my rays, to make a Z. My start time is 9:55. My end time is 3:20. Now the next whole hour after 9:55 is 10 o'clock. And my whole hour before 3:20 is 3 o'clock. Now, how many minutes does it take to get from 9:55 to 10 o'clock? It takes me 5 minutes. I'm going to write this as 0.5 to remember that it's minutes. How many minutes is it from 3:20 back to 3 o'clock? That will be 20 minutes. And now I've got to count my hours. So 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So that's 5 hours. Now I add this all up. I've got 20 plus 5 is 25 minutes. Plus my 5 hours, so 5 hours, 25 minutes. This is your bring back to school problem. I leave from HJB around 4:15 every day. Sometimes I have to stop for groceries and other errands, and I don't get back to my house until 6:45. How long does it take until I get back home? I want you to try this with the Z method, just because I want to see which one you're most comfortable with. And then, like always, you'll get to choose which one you want to do. So this is your bring back to school problem. Solve it, and I will see you in the morning.